black leaders joined forces to bring Destination Crenshaw toward the finish line. Now, beyond the headline phraseology of toward the finish line, if you actually read the article, it said that black-owned contractors are now being mobilized, major new financing is being secured, and it is anticipated that construction activities will begin within the next weeks. That statement has more hedges than a Beverly Hills mansion, more hedges than a nervous groom's wedding vows written by a divorce lawyer. But it's funny how progress starts moving once somebody turns on a microphone. 4 weeks of KBLA editorials and suddenly everyone has found their hard hats. It's amazing what happens when the community starts asking questions out loud, and this is why black media matters. We don't need more empty promises. We need a finished project. Political accountability to black fellow citizens means that elected officials and institutions must answer for their actions or inaction in ways that are real, measurable, and consequential when they fail to follow through. I suppose the good news here is that LA City Council President and 8th District Representative Marquise Harris Dawson is now officially on the record. But to be clear, he's also on the clock. Remember now, it is anticipated that construction activities will begin within the next weeks. We shall see. We have exercised our right to free speech, but there are other rights the black business community can exercise as well. This is a classic example of a public nuisance claim if ever there was one. Again, we shall see. What I can tell you is that black business owners and Crenshaw community residents have been calling, emailing, and literally showing up in our lobby demanding more and asking how they can sign on to this effort. Put simply, after years of delay, the people have had enough. My big mama put it this way: once a task you have first begun, never finish until it is done. Be the labor great or small, do it well or not at all. Now, I need to put on my hard hat, go outside, and wait for these procrastination Crenshaw construction crews to show up. I'll let you know if and when they do. Trust and believe. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
It's all love. It's all love. All love. I don't eat no meat, no dairy, no sweets. Only right vegetables, fresh fruit and whole wheat. I'm from the old school, my household smell like soul food, bruh. Curry falafel, barbecue tofu. No fish though, no candy bars, no cigarettes. Only ganja, fresh squeezed juice from oranges. Exercising daily to stay healthy. And I rarely drink water out the tap cause it's filthy.
Lentil soup is mental fruit and ginger root is good for the youth. Fresh vegetable with them ital stew. Sweet yam fries with the green callaloo. Careful how you season and prepare your foods, cause you don't wanna lose vitamins and minerals, and that's the jewel. Life brings life, it's valuable, so I eat what come from the ground, it's natural.
KBLA Talk 1580. I promised a brand new segment for a brand new half a decade, and we are kicking it off today, the first day of July. It is called Well-Being Wednesday. Some things need focus. We've been doing Wealth Building Wednesday for all 5 of these years, but your health is your wealth in a real way. And we are being joined in this effort by Dr. Loe Moore, MD. He'll be joining us the first Wednesday of every month. He's a dedicated internal medicine, HIV medicine, and lifestyle medicine physician. Dr. Loe Moore, good morning.
Good morning.
He's also an author, I should have mentioned. And his book is called The Men's Health Preventative Guide. So you're all about well-being, and in more of an overall sense, not just what is wrong with you, but staying well, right?
Yes, yes. And I think that's so important that we think about prevention, because there are so many diseases that can be prevented by many of the things that were being said in the song that we were just listening to, even thinking about the foods that we're eating, our exercise, ensuring that we're getting our sleep, ensuring that we are decreasing those unhealthy substances, toxic substances that we put into our bodies, as well. So I really love that song as a start, because so much of what he was saying is within the scope of lifestyle medicine.
Dead Prez is the group. The song is Be Healthy, and it does track with Wellbeing Wednesday. A lot of folks, especially those of us who are more health enthusiasts on the sort of holistic side of town, complain that our MDs, our medical doctors, our traditional medicine practitioners do not pay attention to things like nutrition and exercise and such. Why do you, Dr. Moore, you are an MD, MSHPM, you got the letters after your name, did a residency at Yale University School of Medicine. Why did you cross over to a more preventative and whole person health lens?
Great question. So I crossed over to that maybe I would say 5 or 6 years ago after learning about a specialty called lifestyle medicine. And I was seeing in my clinic and with patients that they needed more than just medication management. There are so many guidelines that we have in medicine that say start with lifestyle change before starting medication for a patient, say, for example, for diabetes. But usually there are not clear directives of what a lifestyle medicine change plan is. Well, lifestyle medicine, the medical specialty that I'm now board certified in, focuses on developing those types of prescriptions around what you eat, around your physical activity, and all of those lifestyle changes that can prevent and reverse chronic disease. And it really shifted the way that I practice. It also shifted the way that I educate the community as well, with leading with those lifestyle changes first. And, I think of lifestyle medicine and lifestyle change as a health equity tool as well, because we're hearing so much about precision medicine and using, genetic data, if you will, to have medicine be very specialized to the person. But that's very expensive, whereas these lifestyle changes are not nearly as expensive, right? So if we can get folks thinking about how to prevent disease, then they won't need those more expensive specialties.
Yeah, and it tracks with your commitment to focusing on uplifting the well-being of Black and Latina communities, because some of these things, we do have the means. We don't have to wait for the Department of Health and Human Services. We don't have to wait for anybody to give us a grant. There are some things we can take into our own hands. So very much appreciate you agreeing to join us the first Wednesday of every month in this commitment. And what we will do, we'll highlight a cutting edge piece of medicine, a story, an advancement, something we ought to know about, and kind of a well-being spotlight. And then we will focus on one particular issue that and we came up with, mostly Dr. Moore came up with a long list of things that some of them seem very simple, but they can help you keep you and your family safe regardless of what guidance you may or may not be getting from elsewhere. And so we will launch our very first Wellbeing Wednesday when we come forward. It's Wellbeing Wednesday with Dr. Loe Moore, and it's only right here.
You can't fix what you won't face.
And we face it every day.
This is KBLA Talk 1580.
Wishing happy birthday to KBLA. 5 years old, yeah, with more that's coming your way. Congratulations, come on y'all, let's celebrate. Happy birthday to KBLA. Look, 5 years deep and we still going up. Built it from the ground, now the real, no one else. Real talk on the air, then the truth get heard. Every day the proof getting served. He had a vision and he stayed with the plan. Now they tapped in from the beach to the land. Never back down, 7 days of the week, still going up now. We 5 years deep. Wishing happy birthday to KBLA. Tommy smiling, you did it with 5 years too
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Point!
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace!
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog, but they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Dr. Loe Moore is the, I'll call you co-host, the our special guest spotlight for our Well-Being Wednesday. And there is a story in the news. I saw it. I didn't know whether to believe it or not. And I'm so glad you are here to put some clarity, put some light on this. As a medical doctor, I read that it looks like we may have a cure for sickle cell. Is that true?
It is true, and it's a feel-good story. A 23-year-old male from Metairie, Louisiana, who is living with sickle cell disease has been functionally cured of sickle cell using gene therapy. And so first I'll start with what I mean by functionally cured.
Yes, please.
So when I say functionally cured, that means that the person, their disease has been effectively controlled, but not entirely removed from the body. And so with sickle cell disease and gene therapy, they took some of his stem cells, sent them to a lab and had them modified so that those stem cells could be reinfused into his body, and then his body could begin to develop normal red blood cells again. So those normal red blood cells would replace the sickle cells. Before they put those stem cells in, they have to first use chemotherapy to clear out all of the sickle cells, so that way those sickles are gone, and then fresh red blood cells, normal red blood cells, can proliferate throughout the bloodstream.
Now, is he going to have to keep having those blood infusions, or would his body now create more non-sickle cells?
His body will now create more non-sickle cells.
So we're working with that is gene therapy that's working with his body's ability to heal.
Yes. And this was a 2-year process, by the way. So first, he had to have those healthy, or some of his healthy stem cells taken out, not the sickles, healthy cells, taken out, and then sent to that lab, as I mentioned. And one of the challenges that some people living with sickle cell have is that we're unable to remove some of those healthy stem cells to be able to send them off, because there's so many sickles, they're clumped, it's harder to get to the healthy stem cells. In this young man's case, they were able to get those cells, send them off and modify them, send them back. He stayed in the hospital for about a month after he'd had the infusion. And so he was being monitored very closely in the hospital to ensure that his body accepted those cells that were reinfused into his body, and to make sure that his body began to create healthy red blood cells. He then went home and was monitored at home with regular follow-up visits as well, to ensure that his body continued to accept and create those new cells.
But so far, it looks like that is happening.
Yes.
And so there's a possibility that this young man could live, as you say, functionally cured, meaning live a normal life for the rest of his days.
Yes, yes. And there have not been any cases after a person's body has successfully accepted those cells back. There haven't been any cases where the functional cure then fails. So we feel really good about his outlook. And this young man has wanted to be a pilot since he was a child, so much so that he'd written to the Federal Aviation Administration saying that he wants to be a pilot, but he has sickle cell disease. What can he do in order to still become a pilot? And they wrote him back and said either be cured through gene therapy or through a bone marrow transplant, and you are then able to continue your path to becoming a pilot. So that is where he's focusing his energy now.
So it sounds like it's a pretty arduous multi-step process, but how long do we think it might be, or do we have an idea how long it might be before this is a common cure for sickle cell that is more widespread?
One of the biggest challenges is how expensive it is.
Okay.
Dominique, like $2 million per infusion. So that
wow.
is a major challenge, especially when we think about health equity and ensuring that as many people living with sickle cell disease get access to this treatment. And so I think it will take some advocacy as well to push for this treatment to become more mainstream.
Okay, so we're possibly a ways off from that.
Yes.
But we have the technology, the medical technology to do it.
We do.
That's sad too, because of course we all know someone with sickle cell. At least I think most Black people do.
Yes.
And it is painful. It can cut their life short dramatically.
Yes.
And as far as we've known so far, it's incurable. But most of us don't have $2 million or $4 million to get cured.
Mm-hmm. And most of us are not able to access those clinical trials that would then allow the cost to be covered as well. Sometimes it's covered in clinical trials to show its effectiveness as well. So that is the biggest challenge with this, is ensuring that now that we have this technology, that as many people living with sickle cell disease as possible can access it. And at this point, there are 100 to 200 people who have been functionally cured using this technology.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's 200 lives that may not have to be cut short. And this young man is in his 20s, right?
Yes, 23.
23, so that could, give him another, 60, 70, 80 years of life.
He's calling this his life too.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. It seems like the whole, all the things that they're doing with stem cells and the use of our own blood plasma to cure things in our own bodies is taking off. Yeah.
It is. It's definitely taking off. And that's one of those components of precision medicine where I was mentioning using our own genes, our own genetic code in order to improve our health. And so, for sickle cell disease and for another blood disease called beta thalassemia, this technology is being used and has been shown to be effective.
That is amazing. And I'm really excited. I love living in a time where so many changes are happening, whether it's technology or medicine. So many changes are happening, and the science continues, even when folks are in denial about the science. So, our topic for today is about the things that are all around us, the things that are in our food supply, in our daily lives that could be poisoning ourselves and our families. And this is not Dr. Moore, this is me, based on what I've seen and based on what is happening in the current administration, we have deregulation. So we have an influx of more potentially deadly or toxic substances. So we are going to look at today how we can identify some things that might be poisoning us and our families, and how we can keep ourselves safe.
So this is a really important topic because we know that pesticides specifically are really everywhere. Like in a lot of the foods that we are consuming, there are pesticides. And so the Environmental Working Group, a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization, every year they create 2 lists. One list is called the Clean 15 and the other is the Dirty Dozen. And those 2 lists, the Clean 15, are the foods that have the least pesticides, the produce with least pesticides. And then the Dirty Dozen are the top 12 that have the highest number of pesticides, highest percentage of pesticides in the samples. So those 2 lists, we're going to talk through those lists. But before we get to the list, I wanted to share with you how these lists are created. So these lists are based on data from the United States Drug Administration, the USDA, on 54,000 samples of fruits and vegetables. And so they look at those samples, and before each sample is tested, they peel the fruit or vegetable if it can be peeled, and then they scrub it and then wash it under running water for 15 to 20 seconds. And then they analyze it to see what pesticides are in it, the number of different pesticides, the abundance or the percentage of samples with at least one pesticide detected, and then the intensity, so the average total concentration of pesticides found on a single sample. And so based on those 4 factors, they rate each of those 47 fruits and vegetables. So we'll start with the Dirty Dozen. So here are our 12: spinach, kale, collard and mustard greens, strawberries, grapes, nectarines, peaches, cherries, apples, blackberries, pears, potatoes, and blueberries.
So those are the dirtiest when it comes to
the
pesticides.
dirtiest.
Okay, and of course, my questions are, I had a friend who was talking about this concept because I know the Trump administration just last year allowed the reintroduction of a bunch of pesticides that had been taken out because they cause cancer. They are allowing farmers to now use those again. And I was trying to figure out how long it would be before everything got unsafe, I guess, if you will. And we were talking about organic versus not organic. And he says that doesn't matter anymore. The pesticides are in everything, organic or non-organic. Agree or disagree?
I disagree. What I would say is that in organic fruits, there are pesticides, but they are real and not synthetic pesticides. And so those pesticides have been found to be safer than the pesticides that are used on non-organic.
So they're safer. They might not be safe, but they're safer.
They are safer.
So you won't. You'll be less dead.
Well, I'm a believer that there is risk in anything that's being added to our food.
I mean, no doubt. But I mean, I know it's also really hard to grow fruits and vegetables without keeping the pests off. But I feel like anyway. We've just had this whole controversy around Roundup.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it
that
went
Supreme Court decision
all the way up to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said, oh, Roundup is fine, which is crazy because there have been court cases in lower courts where people have been awarded money because their cancer was caused by Roundup.
And also, the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency in the U.S., is in misalignment with the World Health Organization, as well as with the European equivalent of the EPA as well, which both state clearly that Roundup is probably carcinogenic.
Meaning it causes cancer.
Yes, due to the increased risk of leukemia.
And that is a common...
lymphoma.
It's they're both cancer, right? Yeah. Yes. But it's a common form of pesticide that people use in their own gardens, right?
Yes.
And so, yeah, the Supreme Court says A-OK, but the rest of the world does not agree. So what you're saying is organics have a different class of pesticides which may be safer, or which are safer.
Yes.
Okay. So the other thing, we'll have to address some of these dirty dozens. I mean, one of my solutions is I pay the extra money and get organic. I just do. But if I want to eat, I was reading an article about strawberries, one of my favorite foods, and a really healthy food, right? Low glycemic index, lots of fiber, something we want to eat every day. But this report was saying that they are soaked in these pesticides to where washing them off may not do it?
Well, here's the thing. Washing them will never remove all the pesticides. So let's start there. But it will at least decrease the excess that's on top.
I mean, even soaking it. No.
Even soaking it, no. You're not going to be able to get all the pesticides out. But scrubbing, washing, at least you get that extra residue that's on the top off, and you get all the extra dirt and things as well. But no, unfortunately, soaking, even submerging in water and dunking and rubbing is not going to get all of the pesticides.
I mean, I soak mine, for a while. I put the vinegar, let it soak, then I scrub it. I'm a germaphobe and a pesticidophobe, which is probably not a word. But
I like it, though.
But of those dozen, it seems like really hard to clean, because how do you can soak berries, you can soak cherries, but you're not going to individually scrub every cherry.
You're not. And so that's why I would say, as you mentioned, if you can, buy organic for these. But then the Clean 15, which we'll get to, those you wouldn't have to buy organic. So for those who are being more cost conscious, they could decide, okay, for those that are on the Dirty Dozen list, I'm definitely going to purchase organic, spend a little bit more. But then for the Clean 15, I'll go ahead and buy those non-organic.
We've got news, traffic, and sports, and then we'll get a little deeper into this. We'll get to the Clean 15. We'll get a little deeper into what else you can do to protect yourself and your family in a world of chemicals, a chemical stew. That is straight ahead. It is Wellbeing Wednesday with Dr. Loe Moore on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is praising a Supreme Court ruling blocking President Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship.
Today's decision allows our residents to continue to live, work, and contribute to the fabric of our city without fear of losing their most fundamental right.
The decision upholds the 14th Amendment, ensuring anyone born in the U.S. remains a citizen. Fair organizers have removed Confederate flag imagery from North Carolina's booth at a national celebration in Washington, D.C. following backlash. Critics say the flag does not represent the state as the event continues through July 10th. And the Golden State Warriors are reportedly eyeing a major roster shakeup with interest in signing LeBron James and trading for Anthony Davis. The move comes as the NBA free agency begins and after Draymond Green opted out of his contract, signaling potential big changes in Golden State. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Both of LA's NBA teams will not have their best player next season. The roster for the Lakers and Clippers will look a lot different after LeBron told the Lakers he wants to play with another team, and Kawhi Leonard was traded to the Toronto Raptors. The Clippers traded Kawhi for starting forwards Brandon Ingram and Grady Dick and first-round draft picks in 2027, 2031, and 2033. Kawhi, who played 7 seasons with the Clippers, turned 35 on Monday. It's obvious the Clippers want to rebuild with a younger roster. The Clippers started last season with the oldest roster in the NBA. The tennis world is hoping Serena Williams continues her comeback after losing her first-round singles match Tuesday at Wimbledon. In her first match since 2022, the 44-year-old Serena lost in 3 sets to Maya Joyne of Australia. Serena is still planning to play doubles at Wimbledon with Venus. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
You've been hearing about it, and now it's your chance to get tickets to the LA Jazz Festival on the beach. Saturday, August 22nd, party on the stand with Janelle Monáe, Charlie Wilson, and Parliament Funkadelic. On Sunday the 23rd, it's John Legend, Raphael Sadiq, Original Coffee, Terrace Martin, and more. 2 epic days for a first ever music festival on Dockweiler Beach. Tickets are selling fast at lajazzfestival.com.
Point!
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace!
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There is no denying that we've always been the conscience of this country. KBLA Talk 1580 is progressive talk radio built for our community, by our community, and with hosts who look like you, live near you, and care about what you care about. 50,000 watts of truth right here in Southern California. KBLA Talk 1580. Listen live on your AM radio dial at 1580 or stream us live on our KBLA1580.com website or on our free KBLA 1580 app.
Unapologetically progressive.
Going to a World Cup match in LA this summer? Ditch the parking stress and ride Metro. With direct service from across LA County, it's the easy way to get there for just $1.75 each way.
This November, you'll decide who leads California. So shouldn't you hear directly from the people asking for your vote? Join us for California Voices, a political town hall and ballot forum, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026. Meet candidates running for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and other major statewide and local offices, including mayor of Los Angeles, city attorney, and LA County sheriff. Get clear, nonpartisan breakdowns of the propositions on your November ballot, both sides, no spin. And ask your questions directly, in real conversation, face to face. California Voices is brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the Empowerment Congress, giving you the information you need before you vote. Mark your calendar, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026, California Voices. Follow KBLA 1580 for details and download the KBLA 1580 app. Your vote, your voice. Be there.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
Dr. Loe Moore, MD. He is also an author, and we are launching today the very first Well-Being Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month. Dr. Moore, can you review the Dirty Dozen? These are the 12 fruits and vegetables with the most pesticides as of 2026.
Yes, so our 12 fruits and vegetables are spinach, kale, collard, and mustard greens, strawberries, grapes, nectarines, peaches, cherries, apples, blackberries, pears, potatoes, and blueberries.
Okay, so basically all of Dominique's favorites.
And Leo's favorites.
I mean, and it's really scary when you think about kale, because kale is in so many things, and most of the places don't offer organic. You know, the smoothie places where they throw in that kale, the fast food salad, not fast food, but fast salad places, it's not organic. And a lot of these places are not even soaking it or cleaning it that well. They're taking it out of the bag.
That's very true.
Rethinking those choices. Now we have the Clean 15. These are the cleanest in terms of having lower levels of pesticides after testing.
Yes.
Okay, let's have them.
All right. Pineapple.
Yay.
Sweet corn, both fresh and frozen. Avocados. Papaya. Onions. Frozen sweet peas. Asparagus. Cabbage. Cauliflower. Watermelon. Mangoes. Bananas. Carrots. Mushrooms. And kiwi.
Okay, that's not a bad list either. And I love that cabbage is on there, because I'm always wondering, like, how do you really clean a cabbage? Are you going to get in between every little...
Well, the good thing is that the outer leaves, once you take those off, the then you remove most of the pesticides there. That's why it's on the Clean 15
I
list.
mean, and it's the same with pineapple, right? It has a thick skin, and the bananas, anything with a thick skin, you're going to be a little safer, right?
Yes, exactly. That's why we see the same with watermelon, for example. Because you've got that thick skin, we're not eating that skin, and so it does keep the actual fruit safe. But one thing I'll mention, Dominique, even with these foods being on the Clean 15 list, I still would recommend, for example, with watermelon, giving it a good wash even before you cut into it, because we have to think about the fact that when you cut in, you could still be introducing some of the pesticides from the outer shell or even some bacteria that were on the outside into your fruit as well.
Yeah, and if you think about where those melons might have been sitting, aside from the pesticides, it's not always clean. So what you're saying is the knife slicing through is like dragging the nastiness into the center of the melon.
Exactly. And remember to wash your knife as well before you use it. Although that knife may have been, sitting in your knife rack or sitting in your drawer, still wash it, because we know that the bacteria are everywhere.
Okay, I can see we're going to get along really well because I'm a serious germaphobe, but I'm also, like I said, I'm worried about pesticides because some of these pesticides are quite aggressive, right, in their impacts.
Yes. Yeah, so some of the impacts we have to talk about is that pesticides have been shown to increase risk for chronic medical conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, and cancers as well, and that they have been associated with reproductive and fertility issues and defects.
Yeah, there's a whole class of pesticides, I'm not thinking of the name of it, and also additives that can actually alter the functioning of your reproductive organs, correct?
So I think you're thinking of PFAS chemicals,
Yep.
those forever chemicals. And, we have to think about the fact that they're not just in produce, they're also in cosmetics. They're in some of the plastics that are on foods and some of the plastics that are on some of the containers we're using as well. So they really are everywhere. But what can you do? Because I think it's really important for us to talk about what you can do.
Yeah, what are the solutions?
So one solution that I think is important, there's an app called Yuka. And it's a great app because it includes fruits, vegetables, many of the foods that we buy that are packaged, in addition to cosmetics as well. YUKA, Yuka app. And it'll give you a score for the foods or for the cosmetics, and it'll tell you why they have that score. So then it helps us to start learning the names of these different chemicals and additives and their effects. Because I think it's important for us to be educated so that even when we're reading a label, we start to see trends of, oh, that's something I want to avoid as well. So it really helps to empower us to make smarter choices when we're in the grocery store or when you're at the makeup counter or what have you.
How do we get the corporations to make smarter choices? Because if you can only get, whatever that fruit is, shrink wrapped, if you can only get, you're ordering from a restaurant, a lot of us are convenience junkies addicted to DoorDash, you can only get something in plastic containers. It makes it harder to make good choices when corporations are not making good choices.
Yeah, well, one of the biggest challenges is that those corporations have a very, very strong lobbying process and teams. And so I often think we need anti-lobbyists to the lobbyists, honestly, to advocate for those healthier components that would not be being driven by capitalism, because so much of this is driven by capitalism.
Absolutely, but I also think some of it is trends, right? And we as consumers, I mean, I know some communities, the corporations are more responsive to than the Black community or Latino community, but we know that Black communities influence everything.
Yes.
Right, so we influence them, and then they influence the corporations. Chris G 77 says, "I never eat DoorDash. Good for you." I cannot say the same, but I'm not going to lie, but I think we're starting to see, at least here in LA, some of the restaurants offering paper or cardboard packaging. And I believe that, and the wooden utensils
Yes.
instead of the plastic ones that are disposable. And I believe that is a result of community pressure and what is trendy. So to me, part of what we can do is talk about it, mention it to the restaurants we like, keep bringing it up in our circles of friends, because consumer pressure is part of lobbying too, isn't it?
It is. I agree. And I think in many states where the legislature is also receptive, then you can see changes. For example, the paper straws are a great example of that as well, like us moving away from plastic straws in California to paper straws. So I think there's always a role that the consumer, the everyday person can also make to take a stand.
What else should we be doing to protect our families from these chemicals, whether they're forever chemicals or temporary pesticides?
So other things that we can be doing, one, there was a great documentary that I saw on Netflix that really focused on plastics and the effects of microplastics and how they are in everything and, all throughout our bodies. And so starting to make smarter choices even about the different packaging that we will accept in our home. So the challenge is that the wooden or the paper packaging, etc., for even when we think about toothpaste, it's more expensive, right? So it's realizing what choices you can make within your budget, because it's real that we have to think about the financial component of this, and then making those choices as you can.
Everett Evans Stevenson says, amen. The Bible explains we should wash our hands before touching the food which gives you life. If we didn't get anything out of COVID, I hope it was that. You might have been touching a gas pump or who knows what, and then you don't want to put that in your mouth. But when we talk about plastics, it's something I'm pretty paranoid about. Obviously, our body does not know how to process microplastics. And they're in the air, they're in the food, they're in the packaging. Do you drink water out of plastic bottles? Are there things you avoid? Are there things that you embrace to kind of reduce the amount of plastic waste inside your body system?
So I definitely try not to drink water out of plastic, but sometimes, it's the only water available. So
Right.
I try not to go to the extreme of never, but where I can, I'm carrying my metal bottle and refilling that. For example, I went to Six Flags yesterday and took like a huge metal bottle and just continued to refill that with water. So where I can refill or where I can make a smarter choice, even when it comes to getting food and it being in a paper instead of plastic, I do my part there. But I have to also be realistic in the fact that plastic is still everywhere, and that microplastics are even in our underwear. It's some of it.
Yeah, I was reading that they're in the yoga pants. So those of us who walk around with yoga pants on all day, maybe give it a little air. Maybe give the bidet a little air so it can deplasticize itself. That's probably not a word either. We're talking with Dr. Loe Moore. It is a Well-Being Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month, launching our second half of this decade. Healthy together on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominic DePrima when we come forward.
You've been hearing about it, and now it's your chance to get tickets to the LA Jazz Festival on the beach. Saturday, August 22nd, Party on the Stand with Janelle Monáe, Charlie Wilson, and Parliament Funkadelic. On Sunday the 23rd, it's John Legend, Raphael Sadiq, Original Coffee, Terrace Martin, and more. 2 epic days for a first ever music festival on Dockweiler Beach. Tickets are selling fast at lajazzfestival.com.
Listen up, KBLA delegation. We have something you need to hear. Right now, you may qualify for low-cost home internet. And we're not talking about a catch. This is real. Many internet service providers offer low-cost internet plans if anyone in your household is enrolled in CalFresh, Medi-Cal, SSI, or is income eligible. There are a lot of families in our community who deserve to be connected. Here's all you do. Call 844-461-7893. That's the Get Connected call center. Real people ready to help you enroll today. Or go online to internetforallnow.org to find a provider near you. You may also qualify for a low-cost computer through Human IT. Connectivity is not a luxury. In 2026, it's a necessity. And you deserve access just like everybody else. Call 844-461-7893. That's 844-461-7893. KBLA's got you. If you missed any of this, you can always go to our website at kbla1580.com. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 in partnership with the California Emerging Technology Fund, CETF.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. These are hard times for housing in America. Too many in our community face barriers to safe housing, behavioral health care, and affirming spaces for healing, particularly those impacted by poverty and stigma or incarceration. Rooted in South LA, AMAD supports impacted communities through housing, wellness, and leadership development. AMAD provides culturally responsive, peer-led support from transitional housing and mental health services to leadership development and youth empowerment. They offer safe, affirming houses for youth, transgender women, and formerly incarcerated individuals. Therapy and peer support with a focus on healing trauma in Black communities. HIV prevention and care, free testing, education, and wraparound services for whole person wellness. Standing in the gap with health, housing, and hope. Reach out to AMAD Institute at 323-569-1610. That's 323-569-1610. Or visit amaad.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
It's never too early to start talking about money in realistic ways with your kids. JP Morgan Chase navigates how to educate your kids now about creating long-lasting, healthy money habits. Whether your kids are in elementary school, high school, or college, now is a great time to start a conversation about ways to create healthy money habits as they grow, ultimately benefiting their financial future. Talking about money in a realistic way to support your kids' lifestyle and dreams, your first banking account geared towards high school or college. It's never too early. Explaining the basics, what you earn and what you spend, building financial confidence starts with getting organized. Learning and practicing vital money skills now will stay with them for life. Tools they will have to stay on top of their finances and achieve their goals. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
The conversation continues right now with Dominic DePrima on First Things First.
And we are talking health and well-being. We're going to do this every first Wednesday of the month with Dr. Loe Moore, MD. Dr. Loe Moore is also an author. And we can find your book where, Dr. Moore? The book is The Men's Preventive Health Guide. What to check, when to check it, and why it matters.
Yes, so you can find my book at drleomore.com, drleomore.com, or you can find it on Amazon. You can also find it on barnesandnoble.com as well.
The Men's Preventative Health Guide, and I love that you put some focus on our men's health because especially in our community, sometimes Black men don't like to go to the doctor at all. I mean, nobody likes to go to the doctor. No offense, doc. But
people like to come to me.
So there's another option. You could get Dr. Loe Moore as your doctor. No, I mean, I'm sure that's probably true because if you're talking about lifestyle medicine, where it's not every visit doesn't have to be doom and gloom and you need this operation and you must take this medication, but you know, what are you eating? What are you drinking? How are you sleeping? I think that is that's more fun than what a lot of people are doing with their doctors.
I agree. And, you know, to to my book, what's been beautiful to me is talking to men who have received the book, from their wives or family members, loved ones, and them saying, I took this book to my doctor's appointment and went to the page for my decade of life and showed them the checklist. And they said, yes, all of these are things that you should have checked today. And so I want to share a quick story of my own, because every year for my birthday, I go and get my screenings done every year.
Oh, joy.
So that's one of my birthday
When
gifts
is your
to myself.
birthday?
My birthday was June 11th. So
Oh, Gemini, of course. Okay. Mine is the 4th.
Gemini twin.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went, so I first sent an email to my doctor requesting all of my tests, and I'm over the age of 40. So a PSA is recommended for Black men over the age of 40, important. And so in my email, I included that I'd like a PSA and all of my additional screenings. When they ordered the test, they ordered everything except for the PSA. And so I saw the list of tests and had to advocate for myself and saying, hey, I'm a Black man over the age of 40. I need a PSA. Please add that test to the order. And I'm a physician myself, right? So if I'm having to advocate for myself, then others are having to advocate as well. So that's where having your own list really helps, so that you can check your list versus the list of what all has been ordered for you. And I think it's important for not only men, but women as well, to ask what tests are being ordered so that you know exactly what they're ordering for you, versus saying, oh, just check me for everything, because check me for everything means they may think everything is different from what you think.
Yeah, and it is relevant that based on, the community from which you come, your family history, if you're Black, especially, and your age, your decade, you might need something different now than you needed when you're 20. Does your doctor know you're a doctor?
So my doctor knows that I'm a doctor. I don't know if the MP that was covering my doctor knew that I was a doctor until I signed that email, Loe Moore, MD, because I wanted to make it clear that I know the guidelines and that I need this test ordered.
Wow, that's wild. Well, we were talking today about all the chemicals that are around us, how to keep ourselves and our families safe, and this influx of pesticides. You mentioned the Dirty Dozen, the Clean 15, and how we can maybe with the Clean 15, we can get away with not buying organic. With their Dirty Dozen, we're more compelled to buy organic because they're less likely to have those cancer-causing chemicals. How do you wash your fruits and vegetables?
It's a great question. So first, I start with running cold water over them, and then I also will use my fingers or a vegetable scrubber and rub, like, to get some of the pesticide off. I also like using baking soda as well, particularly for my berries. So just a teaspoon, just depending on how much water you have, a teaspoon to a tablespoon of baking soda, and I am dunking the fruits and vegetables in, continuing to try to rub to get off the excess dirt and pesticide. Then strain all of that off, rinse them a few more times, and then I can eat them.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I just add vinegar and the baking soda. Okay. But they have these Japanese natural bristle scrubbers, Japanese vegetable scrubbers that I find very effective for scrubbing stuff, especially something like a potato, if you're thinking of leaving that skin on, which is full of nutrients, right?
It is.
Or a sweet potato, which is really full of nutrients but comes out the dirt. That's how they grow.
Or kiwi. I always tell people, eat the skin of the kiwi.
Really?
It's so high in fiber.
I never knew that.
Yes. You get most of your fiber from that skin. And if you're a person that says, ooh, the skin doesn't taste that well, cut it up into thinner slices so that way you aren't taking in as much of the skin with the pulp of the fruit.
Yeah, it's kind of furry looking, but if you say so, Dr. Loe Moore, I will try it. I will try it. In cost-benefit analysis, the berries being one of the harder things to clean, but also both blackberries and strawberries, cherries and blueberries, I think, are all on the Dirty Dozen list.
They are?
Cost-benefit analysis, eat them anyway. Be strict about eating organic. Don't eat them at restaurants because they won't soak them. Where's the sweet spot?
So I won't say be strict about it, because I will say sometimes when I go to a restaurant and I'm having breakfast and there's fruit, I'll go ahead and eat the non-organic fruit. But if I'm able to get it from the store and there is, organic, I usually will choose organic for the Dirty Dozen. And then for the Clean 15, I'm okay with just getting the non-organic.
Okay, no more commercial acai bowls for Dominique. Sorry, all my restaurants, they get my business. But no, we have to find the balance and find the compromise. Thank you so much for your commitment to what you call lifestyle medicine, which is hopefully lifestyle everything, because it does come down to lifestyle. I've been around for a minute, and people, the people that were making fun of me 30 years ago for eating too much celery are now asking me, what was that you said I should eat? So it's never too late, right? It's never too late to get healthy and be well for you and your family.
It's never too late. I 100% agree with that. And even making small changes here. So maybe you've decided that your favorites you will get off of the Dirty Dozen list non or organic, and then on the Clean 15 you'll get all of those non-organic. But I think it's just so important. Start where you are. Consider your budget, but prioritize your health.
And it is true, every little bit helps, because if you talk about a little bit of pesticide every day over the period of the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years that you have in your life, it definitely adds up. Dr. Loe Moore with Well-Being Wednesday. It's a new thing. I'm excited about it. I hope you are too. Thank you so much, Dr. Moore.
Thank you for having me.
And Tavis Smiley's on deck. He's right around the corner. He's ready for you. Are you ready for him? I hope so. He's got an incredible show as usual. Don't forget to tap in with me on social media. I'm at DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio on all platforms, including YouTube. Please follow, like, and subscribe. Like my mama, the former poet laureate of San Francisco, Diane DiPrima, used to say, the ultimate famine is the starvation of the imagination. So be imaginative, have some fun today, try something new. Until tomorrow, my KBLA delegation, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Black Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is praising a Supreme Court ruling blocking President Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship.
Today's decision allows our residents to continue to live, work, and contribute to the fabric of our city without fear of losing their most fundamental right.
The decision upholds the 14th Amendment, ensuring anyone born in the U.S. remains a citizen. Fair organizers have removed Confederate flag imagery from North Carolina's booth at a national celebration in Washington, D.C. following backlash. Critics say the flag does not represent the state as the event continues through July 10th. And the Golden State Warriors are reportedly eyeing a major roster shakeup with interest in signing LeBron James and trading for Anthony Davis. The move comes as the NBA free agency begins and after Draymond Green opted out of his contract, signaling potential big changes in Golden State. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of